Welcome, it's Mike and Denise. We're out here with our aPlantBasedDiet.org water bottle. We're going to give you the review and comment on the news, and we're going to hike. We're up here. Actually, we just went to Big Schloss Mountain here on the West Virginia border, and we're going to try to read you an article that deals actually with veganism and the environment while we're out here in nature, because there's actually, hopefully we won't even encounter anybody on this. We did see one or two hikers already, but let's just get right into the article. And Denise will give you the title.
It's vegan diets in Edinburgh and Stockholm could cut 1.5 million cars worth of emissions.
Okay, well, let's talk about that. What they're talking about is converting Edinburgh, right? That's Sweden, and Stockholm,
Edinburgh.
Sweden.
Yes.
Okay, to fully vegan cities, I guess. They're just kind of like, what if these entire cities went vegan? I don't know why they're specifically looking at those, but
They police that.
well, they haven't done that, but they're saying, what if?
Yeah, what if?
Like in the future, in the
It's
future.
gonna happen.
Well, it will. I think that especially Europe, they're much more vegan friendly. They're much more open to this kind of stuff as a population. And
what if they stop animal agriculture and stop importing beef?
I think what they mean, and we'll find out when they read it, is what if these two cities went fully vegan from now on? Starting today, what would happen? What kind of impact would that have on the environment? I think is what they're saying. So that's what we want to find out. We know it's good. I actually tell people, we drive an electric car, but I tell people before you buy an electric car, make sure you've totally gone vegan first, because that's way more important. So let's find out how much more important.
A growing bank of research underscores the environmental benefits of vegan food by Amy Buxton. It's dated 5th of May.
We're on some rocks here. Yeah, 5th of May, that's yesterday. So it's very, very, very recent.
I'm gonna find the next slide.
Okay, you should just slide over. I think if you just slide over with your swipe.
It won't work if you've got the phone horizontal.
Oh, it won't. Okay.
Stockholm's
It's like Tinder.
population of around 1 million could make a notable difference to the world's atmosphere. Media credit Adobe stock.
Well, you don't have to read. You don't have to read that. But what Denise just said is that just having 1 million people convert over, because what we just read the other day, the average thought of percentage of vegans in the general population is like what, 1 to 3%. So it's very little,
Yes.
very, very small still in 2023. So if you converted 1 million people who live in close proximity, what would happen? That's what this is trying to address.
A food sustainability expert has revealed that if Edinburgh and Stockholm both turned vegan, emissions would reduce to the equivalent of taking just under 15 million cars off the road.
Wow. Okay.
IPCC contributor Dr. Joseph Kuhn made the claim while speaking at a webinar co-hosted by Food Awareness Campaign, the Plant-Based Treaty, and public education
Plant-Based Treaty, we know.
platform Vigo Forum.
Okay, well let's talk about that, because I've told people that there's probably more like a 10x benefit by going vegan rather than buying an electric car, because this is almost kind of goes right into that. So this guy's saying if you have 1 million people convert, then you get 15 million cars taken off the road. So it's actually more. It's more like a 15 times benefit than a 10x benefit that I've been telling people.
A food sustainability expert has revealed that if Edinburgh and Stockholm both turned vegan, emissions would reduce to the equivalent of taking just under 15 million cars off the road.
We read it again for emphasis.
We took 2 screenshots of the same.
Yeah,
paragraph.
there's gonna be overlaps on the screenshots. There's definitely overlaps.
In total, Poor says that a vegan Edinburgh, the first European capital to sign up for the plant-based treaty, would save the same amount of emissions as those generated by 532,000 cars. He also revealed that an area the size of the UK's Lake District National Park, which is 232 hectares, could be rewilded. Stockholm makes up the lion's share of the emission savings, almost fell and
Oh my
hit
gosh.
my face. Mike has
No,
just
we're
said
all good.
as
We're all
well.
good. It's not going to
Over
happen.
rocks.
We're working on our balance and coordination too, that you increase when you go on nature hikes like
Well,
this. You have to.
I can't read and see the rocks at the same time.
Yes.
Stockholm makes up the lion's share of the emissions savings. Should Sweden's capital city embrace a vegan diet, it would slash emissions equivalent to those made by 935,000 cars. A further 176,000 hectares of land could also be rewilded. The findings appear to have been met with a positive reception and understanding, particularly from Stockholm's vegan mayor, Karen Wangard, who introduced the webinar. Next slide. I have to decrease the image size,
Yeah.
advance it, reposition it.
This is how we keep on our toes over
And then-
50, okay? You gotta keep sharp, like this.
If we keep producing and eating the food we do today, we will not reach the Paris Agreement. The world as we know it won't be the same, she warned. Now is the time for states and cities to take a greater responsibility for the food people consume. In our city, we have nearly 1 million inhabitants. The schools, preschools, and elderly homes of Stockholm are taking a leap towards organic, plant-based, and locally produced food.
I wonder how they're gonna do that. That's probably gonna mean growing indoors. And I question a lot of things. I think growing indoors is awesome. I question whether it's as beneficial as growing outdoors with the sun. Denise is still going through.
The next slide.
It's okay. We're out here enjoying nature. That's the whole reason why we're doing this video in this format, as opposed to being inside somewhere.
The importance of rewilding relates to its ability to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere.
That's right. We are rewilding right here, right? These trees absorb carbon dioxide. That's what they're talking about in this article, and that's what we can do. Now, do you understand the direct connection there, Denise, with rewilding something?
Yeah, what's pasture should be regrown with trees. Not
Okay,
grass.
okay, that's how they're gonna do it. Gotcha. Okay, so make sure we.
As it stands,
New.
animal agriculture, including land used to grow feed, accounts for 77% of all farming land worldwide. This is despite the sector only supplying 18% of global calories. These figures demonstrate the importance of the plant-based treaty, which encourages cities around the world to promote animal-free food. There are very large benefits to cities adopting plant-based diets. It's really great. It's a really great initiative the plant-based treaty is doing, and I think it's essential to get more cities signed up and get those cities delivering on what they've committed to, or said in a statement. We have to take carbon dioxide out of the air. We need diet change to free up and liberate large amounts of land for rewilding, both natural vegetation growth, rewilding to bring species back.
That's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that part of it.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. They would adaptive reuse these cow pastures to rewild into natural areas for natural plants and native plants and animals.
Well, you can't bring a species back once it's gone extinct, but maybe they're trying to prevent that.
Yeah. Is there any more of that article? Is that it?
Yes, there's more. You're on low battery. I had to close that.
No.
We have to take carbon dioxide out of the air. We need diet change. Did I already read this? To free up and liberate large amounts of land for rewilding,
Yes.
both natural vegetation growth, rewilding to bring species back, but also for negative emissions. The biggest thing we can do is turn vegan.
Yeah.
During the webinar, 4 explicitly revealed that the most environmentally impactful course of action any one person can take to switch to a plant-based diet is this. He said, it is a viable way to combat global warming and attempt to limit temperatures rising.
Is that it? I know it was a short one. It might be. Well, you can find the next one if you want. I'm gonna.
Next slide.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Rotate it, zoom it, check see. The biggest thing we can do is turn vegan. During the now it says during the webinar, Core explicitly revealed that the most environmentally impactful course of action any one person can take is to switch to a plant-based diet. This, he said, is a viable way to combat global warming and attempt to limit temperatures rising above 2 degrees Celsius. This is a different paragraph, but it says the exact same thing I already said. I'm not reading it twice.
Oh, okay.
Core's thoughts mirror those of former IPCC expert reviewer Dr. Peter Carter. In a discussion about the burgeoning methane crisis, Carter revealed that emissions reductions have been accomplished as far as is feasible. And now he says the only course of action left is global veganism.
And let's also mention, because I'm doing a talk here on how to optimize your health and the environment, which is what you have to do. And I go into a lot of detail, more detail than that. But that brings up some very interesting points about, I do think there's so many damn sensors and things on your, and emissions controls. What more can they possibly do, all right, on your car?
They can phase out ICE engines. How
Right.
can he say we can't cut global emissions
Well, that's
anymore?
what that's what he means. He means we have about 30 or 40 sensors on your car already, and catalytic converters. There's nothing else we can do. Okay, they've played that out. So one point I bring up was that, remember how great the air quality was during the COVID lockdowns? Mm-hmm. It wasn't because of the increased demand on the electric power plants, which do pollute. Okay, they do. But they're controlled in one location. They have way better systems than the individual cars and trucks, which is what stopped driving. It was the ICE engines that stopped. That's what cleared the air. So just remember that. This is why you have to go vegan first. Vegan first, then that is still important to get turned into electric vehicles and other things. But it's really just going vegan. 10 to 15 times the benefit, I'd say. Right? But still benefits. And we also want to mention that people that we know, Covey and Milena Watts, are working on this, right? The plant-based treaty. We signed it.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys have signed it. And if you haven't, this is your reminder. Please go sign it and get some exercise. Get outside. I'm starting to go uphill now. I'm feeling it. Get outside and get your daily vigorous aerobic exercise. You need it so that you can continue to live too and not be a drag on everybody else. Because, as I talked about in my talk, if you're not doing well, you're probably taking pharmaceuticals, which make their way back into the environment, which also destroys the environment. So for any reason that you're ill, it's not environmentally friendly, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, I gotta get that message across. So, and the US Geological Survey has a whole document, a whole infographic explaining this whole process, because they already know about all this with the pharmaceuticals getting into the environment. I have to go because I can't talk anymore. They're going up the hill. Be sure to get my book, Live to 150, at liveto150.org, and you'll have done all these things and figured the whole thing out, the whole manual. Give us some comments below, like the video, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video where I will not be out of breath.
Bye.
Bye.